tell you, we got some VIPs in the audience. I see the mayor over here, and now it's well, we have a track and field event going on. Is that what it is? That we might understand. Any defensive backs in that group? Like some corners and some safeties. No, it's you know, I've had a couple unique phone calls. You know, last night I had a chance to talk to my high school coach named Rip Shear back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's a guy that played at Penn State. Tremendous high school coach. His son's been the head coach, been in the NFL. Son's now at Colorado, and you know, his health's failing him. He's about 88, maybe 89 years old. And I had a chance to talk to Coach Shear, and you know, it's amazing. He said if he had one more chance to do something, if he could do one thing, he'd love to go out on that field and just coach one more time. And that kind of made an impact on me. I shared that with our staff this morning, and he said that you know, he's lived his life being involved in football, and he's always seen football as a vehicle to teach young people life's lessons. And that, you know, that hit home. It really did. And then I had a second conversation this morning with Lou Holtz. I talked to him about 45 minutes, and you know, just talking about things that are important, you know, things that really matter as you build a program, things that really matter when you look at yourself in the mirror. And you know, you're very fortunate. You know, so much of life is who you have the opportunity to be around, whether it's as a young person, your family, coming up in your career. And I've been fortunate to be around some great people. And hopefully I can make the kind of impact on our players that these coaches have made on me. But not to get too philosophical, but you know, we've made a lot of headway in this program. And I feel so fortunate to be here. It's going to be a long journey. It's going to be a unique journey. We've got some unique problems, trust me. I know it's hard for you guys to put it into context, but we've got some unique challenges here. But what a great opportunity for us. And as we move forward, the kind of players I want in this program, I want people, do you really care? Do you really care? Can I trust you? Is so important to me. And you know, I've shared that with our players, and you know, because we're kind of getting that time of year now where recruiting becomes critical, certainly for us as much as anyone, maybe more than anybody in the country. And who we bring into this program is so important, because we can do it, and we can do it the right way, and as long as we have the right people. So with that said, you know, we're facing some adversity right now, like every team in the country faces. I think it's important for us right now to kind of regroup in some degree as a staff and as a team. You know, we're going to vote today. I mass texted or mass emailed, whatever you call it, to all of our players. I told them to expect when they show up at 2:30 today that we're voting on permanent captains. You know, as this year's gone on, we've had different captains every day, every week. Because we're young, we don't really know each other in the program enough. But now we've seen enough of each other. So we're going to vote on permanent captains to help us through these next 3 weeks. So from a leadership standpoint, as you know, yesterday I suspended, maybe you know, Devontae Tabana for the season. Again, good kid. I really like him. He's made some progress. But I always go back to, can I trust you? And he made a decision. Had nothing to do with any legal system. I didn't have to suspend him. But again, can I trust you? So he's suspended. It's unfortunate. You know, but I'm not going to compromise. We right now, at the quarterback position, we know what we are. There's not one quarterback in this program that was brought in the previous regime's recruiting class. Not one quarterback. I suspended David Vega early in the year. He's not back on this team. Not that it was anything. Probably didn't warrant what he did. Defensive backs, we have 3 scholarship defensive backs in this program right now that are eligible to play, that were brought in by the previous regime in 3 years. Devontae Tabana probably would have played a lot this week. I'm not compromising. So with that said, that's kind of where we are as we build this program. You know, Wyoming brings some challenges, as everybody does. You know, they're a spread offense. They've got a quarterback that really is a dynamic player, runner and thrower. They've been in their systems for several years. but we have a chance to win a game. Last week was the first time this year really that I didn't think we started out the game the way we've started out previous games. We've gotten so used to scoring first. What did we go 4 straight weeks scoring the first time we had the ball? We did some good things, but overall we walked out of there getting beat pretty soundly. So we need to regroup. We need to go. We need to go. So any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Coach, is he suspended just for the rest of the season, not to spring too, or can he?
He's suspended for the rest of the season. I feel like if I put him out there to play, I'm really just using him. It's time. We're enabling him if I let him play. And I'm not doing that. I'm not using these kids just to try to win a game. The best thing for him, and he knows it, and I know it, is to take football completely away from him. We've invested a lot of time in him, which is fine. We've not gotten much back, and he knows that. I told him that. But it always comes back, can I trust you? And I handle each case separately. I can't trust him right now. So he's not going to play. He's not going to be part of this team. It's simple.
Coach, you said after the last game that you felt like your staff, you guys got out-coached. Can you elaborate on that, or what you're doing to correct that?
Yeah, I think, after the game, you always say some things. I talked to our team about it. I went through everything I told them in the locker room after the game. First thing I said, I thought we got whipped. When I went back and looked at the tape, I really don't think that was the case, where we just got whipped or we got out-effort. When you give up the kind of big plays we give up, when you give up a 67-yard run, when you give up on the very next play a 28-yard pass, when you give up a 75-yard touchdown pass, when you give up a 50-yard run at the end of the game, you know what? The bottom line, that shouldn't happen. So yeah, they outcoached us because there's some things that shouldn't happen. And I would stick to that. I thought UNLV did a good job. I think they did outcoach us in the game, to be quite honest. There were a team that had one win coming in. They played very well in certain games. They were ready to play more than we were ready to play. So it was 21-0 at halftime. So they outcoached us, no question.
Coach, do you know how many guys you're planning are going to redshirt regardless of class?
For us?
Yeah.
Redshirt.
Yeah, I know.
Redshirt.
I know there's not many.
No, I think, what do we have? Ridge Jones we're keeping out.
Right.
The tight end, Christian Rebon.
Right.
I think that's it. Who? Santos. We took. Fortunately, Freddie Young was able to play.
Right.
He took that thigh bruise. I think 3. Would that be right?
Fatu?
Fatu would be a guy.
Yeah.
Fatu would be a guy. That's 4. But 3 out of the 25 newcomers, right? 3 out of the 25 newcomers. Yeah, I saw somewhere where UNLV had something in there. They've played 7 freshmen or something. We played all but those guys we just mentioned. Yeah, and it's a shame. I mean, it's a shame that Aqua started against Southern. Andrew Aqua started. And guys have played, but that's the situation we're in. It's a shame. I feel bad for those kids. That's part of it.
What sort of challenges does Brent Smith present for you?
He's one of the few guys. It's funny. You don't hear these players on our team talk much about, like last year when we played this team this, or this team's this, or this player's this. This player is one guy our players talk about and talked about. So he's made a tremendous impression on our team from last year. He reminds me of kind of a gym rat guy, a guy that's very productive, loves to play, elusive, playmaker. He's a good player. I mean, he's a freshman of the year last year in the Mountain West Conference and had some injuries early in the year, I think some concussions. I think he's settled in. I think they're comfortable, and I think he's comfortable now. He's a challenge.
How's Casey doing? Is hamstring getting him any trouble at all?
Casey?
Yes.
Yeah, Casey, Casey didn't practice last week, with the hamstring. I don't know if that was a major factor in the game. I think it was somewhat of a factor in the game. Came through it good with the hamstring. He's got a little bit of a wrist, like everybody has, little bumps and bruises. But the hamstring came out of it good from the week. So Rashad Rainey won't play. which hurts